What up? This is your boy El Conquistador, drumandbassproper.com. We're going to continue with Madrid. We are here with Friendship. You are a vocalist.
I am indeed.
So, guys, I heard her in Barcelona, one of the first shows that I went to, and she has some pipes. She has got some pipes on her. So, tell us, when did you start? What's the story with you wanting to be a vocalist?
Wow, I think it almost kept tapping me on the shoulder and asking me to come and be a vocalist. I was just drawn into it. When I was 6, I started to write bizarre songs in my room, playing with a Casio keyboard and a Fisher-Price tape player. This gives away my age. And I would just record weird radio shows, and I'd just be playing like strange 90s chords. It was probably all nonsense, but yeah, it was very much just a game for me. And then, as I got older, suddenly a friend discovered that I could sing. I had a house party. I was about 20 or 21, and I still had a keyboard. And during the party, I sort of went out of the main room and just, a little bit inebriated, started playing, singing along. And suddenly a friend popped their head round, and they had been watching this whole time. And they were like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you could do this. I'm going to introduce you to my friend. He's a producer. It's going to be great." And it was great, because it turned into a band that I was then part of for 10 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But that was all a long time ago. So things are very different as the vocalist I am now.
Well, yeah. So how did you get into, drum and bass?
Well, again, this very much just found me. So I moved to Madrid, changed my life dramatically for the better in September of 2020, and I was talking a lot to one of my friends back in the UK who I had sort of tried to do a bit of work with, and he was a drum and bass producer, used to be in dubstep, and he was really pushing me, he was really encouraging me and saying, you need to get into drum and bass, you need to do this. And as I've always been a fan ever since, of course, arose into our consciousness, and so it felt natural. And then I made the first track with him, followed a few people on Instagram, they followed me back, asked if I did this for anybody else, and lo and behold, it just built like that, really. People just started, just inboxing me from all around the world, and it's just grown from there.
So I know that you travel around Spain, doing your thing. Where else have you, graced the stage?
Yeah, so at the moment, I've been lucky enough to play at Cross Club, legendary Cross Club in Prague, and a couple of times in London, Dorset, Kent, Oxford, all UK based, obviously. And then I've played, in Barcelona. As
where we met,
and Madrid, and then a festival here called Monegros. But there are some more bits and pieces coming up.
So you work with producers as well, to lay down the vocals and things like that. Who are some of the people that you've worked with and have releases with?
So someone I work with on a regular basis is someone called Makors, who is he's from Russia, lives in Russia.
Okay.
He's renowned for his really soulful, melodic, sort of twinkly, deep, liquid drum and bass. And we had a double single released out, I think it was a week ago. Gosh, the time is just flying.
And where was this released on?
That was with DMBB Records, a Brazilian label who specialize in liquid, and they've been such a champion for my music. I've released countless tracks with them. But Makors I work with a lot. And then here's someone that lives in Madrid who I met via the Madrid scene, GDS.
Okay.
We've had a release together, and we have another few coming out this year.
Nice.
Then I have some work coming up with Lower, which is LOW and then the little colons on it on. And yet more liquid with him. Level State from Cape Town, all kinds of people, incredible
so you're
producers
getting around.
All around.
You're getting around, people grabbing that big voice of yours.
I guess.
No, I think that's great. No, I mean, especially the fact that you started doing this, outside of England when you really started catching traction is very impressive.
Yeah, it was honestly like divine intervention. How I was introduced to the scene here, and were able to further the whole drum and bass game for Friendship, was that I was walking along. I'd been here about a year and a half, I think, and there was a poster on some telecoms box, and it was a Metalhead's picture. Metalhead's night was happening. I was like, oh my god, love. So I took a picture of it, and I tagged the promoter. As if to say, I can't remember what I said, probably like, oh my God, definitely coming to this. And then that person who was the promoter, Modulate, a guy called Rich, who also lives here, obviously. And he messaged me and said, oh, you're a singer. I'm a producer. Do you fancy doing anything? Invited me to that night. And then introduced me to all kinds of other people. One of the DJs on the bill that night, Cedric, I realised by following his Instagram that we had someone in common that was another of my producers, but he lived in Portugal. And I said, oh, I've seen we both know Kavala. And he said, oh yeah, he's one of my best friends. I was like, what? And so all of these little dots just like joined.
Fell right into place.
Yeah.
I think that's fabulous. I think that's really great. So what can everyone expect from Friendship in 2026? What do you got coming down the pipe?
Ooh, yes, I have probably some of my best work yet coming out this year, which is very exciting. So yeah, more releases with the labels I love so much, like Focus and Galaxy, and a really cool label that I'm so happy to be working with, called Delta 9. Nice. And a couple of other bits I can't talk about yet, but yes, just more like honing in on my sound, really, which is very much me singing about people letting me down and me feeling rejected and on my own and all of those woe is me type things, challenges with relationships, story of my life.
So the good stuff, the stuff that hits home for a lot of people, No, that's fair. Occasionally
I write about hope and stuff going right, but not
heartbreak. It draws the people. We all have it. We all understand the heartbreak.
Exactly, relatable.
So here in Madrid, I would like to ask you, what, being English, and living here in Madrid, what are some of the differences that you've noticed, in the scene?
Oof, gosh, I mean, I was from such a rural, quiet place.
Where are you from?
In Dorset.
Okay, you're from Dorset.
On the south coast, it's about 2.5 hours from Bristol, about 2.5 hours from London, just on the south coast. And I did used to put on music events when I was in the band, and it was really at the tail end of sort of there actually being a scene there. And now everything's so expensive there. It's so difficult to get people out. They might all message you days beforehand saying, can't wait. And then it rains on the day. And, I guess that's the same anywhere.
That's the same.
But everybody's squeezed. Everybody's got pressure from, family and work like never before, really. And I think it's been such a dramatic shift for me experiencing living in a city where everything's just so vibrant and people are just much more gung-ho and jump in. And, I just feel like we've got such a tight scene here in terms of, the fans and everybody who organizes all of these events. They all work together, generally speaking, there's not really that much animosity. I'm sure there is in the corners, but generally speaking, everybody supports one another.
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
I have noticed that. Yeah. And, I think that's one of the things that makes Spain as a whole, very special, and how they're able to build the scene the way that they have.
And I think it's just testament to like the practical, kind, caring, sociable nature of everybody here. I don't know, I shouldn't say this, but I just prefer the culture and the society here.
I mean, Spain's awesome.
I mean,
Spain's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, guys, if you've never been to Spain, like, even if you don't come to a show, like, come to Spain and check it out. Like, the food, holy shit. The people are super friendly.
It's true.
There's a lot to do here, even just outside of a club. It really is, an amazing country.
Yeah.
We are, really is.
Yeah, spoiled in every aspect, really.
No, 100%, I agree. So, when is your next show here in Spain?
Next show for definite is not until July.
Okay.
And the official details haven't been released yet, but that's all I can say.
Is it going to be here in Madrid?
It will be here in Madrid in
There
July.
you go.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for the flyers.
Yeah.
And when you see Friendship, you guys really want to get out there to check her out. I'm not kidding when I tell you she has a very big voice. It's really nice, to hear her do her thing live.
Very kind.
And thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. But before we close out, tell everybody your socials so they can follow you.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for spending time getting to know Friendship. I really appreciate it, Cisco. And
I appreciate your time and doing this for us.
Oh, it's been great fun. And yeah, absolutely. If you want to check out some of my music and, come along on the road with me, then it's listen to Friendship with a 3 instead of the E. And on Spotify, Friendship.
Awesome. Guys, it's been great. We're in Madrid. We're going to keep going with a few other interviews. Friendship, thank you so much, sweetheart. We really do appreciate it. Guys, German bass proper, El Conquistador, Friendship here in Madrid. Big up.
Big up.
Awesome. Perfect.
Oh,